everyone, I am going to walk you through how to do the 16-3 work together. And to save time, I already have the accounts written down. Actually, I wrote the accounts down, but I left that sheet of paper at home. And so I just made a copy of the work together, and then I whited out all of the spots where the numbers go. So that is clearly not my handwriting. So with 16-3, make sure you read this section. In this section, we're going to be creating a balance sheet, and it's going to look quite a bit different than the one we did before in the previous chapters when we just had a proprietorship. Now, first of all, a balance sheet is to show and prove that our accounting equation is still balanced, so that our assets equal our liabilities plus our owner's equity. To make your balance sheet, you will need your adjusted trial balance from 16-1, and you will also need your statement of stockholders' equity from 16-2. So this is just another time where all of these keep getting added together, where we need just more and more papers for a bit here. Now the instructions for this is on page 493. It says use Superior Corporation's trial balance. Now when they say trial balance, they mean your adjusted trial balance. And we're going to use the statement of stockholders' equity from the working papers from 16-2. I'll guide you through the following example. And it just says prepare a balance sheet for the current year. All right. So first you will need to put in your title, which will be the same. We'll have Superior Corporation balance sheet and then December 31st, 2000 and whatever year it is. So your first section is assets. So you will write that centered in our title column. And if we look from our adjusted trial balance, we have a lot of different assets. It starts here with cash, and it goes all the way down to, this one's going to be a little different because we don't want to put our plant assets. It's going to go down to interest receivable. So these will be our current assets. So cash down to interest receivable. Now we will also have some plant assets. That will be these next ones here. Current assets are things we own of the business that we expect to use within 1 year or receive within 1 year, like notes receivable and also accounts receivable. Plant assets are things that we expect to use longer than 1 year. So we're going to start with that since that is our assets. So we will list current assets first with the colon after it, and then we will go and start listing our current assets. And we will put these in our middle column because the far right column will be used for our totals. So our first one we have is cash. So if you look at your adjusted trial balance, our cash is $43,355.47. Next we will list petty cash, which is $200. Oops. Now for accounts receivable, these we will write in our far left column. Accounts receivable has a contra account, which is allowance for uncollectible accounts. So we need to just record the book value for accounts receivable. To calculate our book value, we would subtract these two amounts from each other. So we would take accounts receivable, which is $16,305.45. And we will subtract from that our allowance for uncollectible accounts, which is $2,484.22. And since we are going to be subtracting, we will draw a single rule. Try and draw it dark so you can see it. And we will put the difference right to the right, just like how we did on our income statement. And that will be our book value of accounts receivable. That's the amount we actually expect to receive. So $13,821.23. All right, we will go down from merchandise inventory all the way down to interest receivable and list those. So I'm going to pause and do that and come back. So after listing all of these, we will add up the middle column, and that will give us our total current assets. So we will draw a single line underneath the $95 for interest receivable. And our total will go on the line where we will write total current assets in the third column, the far right column. And that is $147,542.97. So that's our total current assets. Our next section is going to be for our plant assets, and these are things we expect to use over 1 year. So there's something that would last a long time. So like office equipment, that could be like computers. Store equipment, that could be like shelving. Just some examples. Now we need to calculate the book value of our equipment. So we're going to do that just like how we did up here for accounts receivable. So if I go back down, so I get it nice so you can see it. Alright, so office equipment, and we're taking this from our adjusted trial balance. Office equipment is $19,916.14. And right underneath it, we will write our less accumulated depreciation for office equipment, which is a contra account to office equipment. It is $12,436.20. We will then subtract these two to calculate the book value, what it is actually worth for our office equipment. It wasn't very thick, but hopefully you saw me and you knew that there's a single line there. So our book value is $7,479.94. We need to make sure we record our accurate number on our assets for our balance sheet, otherwise that is not good. That is actually illegal if we were to not record our depreciation and just say, oh yeah, we have assets of 19,000 some. Really, they're only worth 7,000 some. So we got to make sure we're reporting accurate information. We're going to do the same with store equipment. So store equipment's $47,318.49. The accumulated depreciation for store equipment is $16,626. We will subtract once again to calculate our book value, and we'll put it right to the right. And we just know, as with some accounting knowledge, we know that that number to the right means that we did some subtraction or addition, just depending. For this one here, it's subtraction. Our book value for store equipment is $30,692.49. We next need to calculate our total plant assets, so we will add the book value, the two numbers in the middle, to calculate that. So we again will need a single rule. That was not dark at all. So if we add these two together, we'll put it in our far right column. Our total plant assets is $38,172.43. And our last part of this section is we need our total assets. We will add our total current assets plus our total plant assets, and we will get $185,715.40. Now, this is the left side of our accounting equation, because the accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. So we would single rule here, but we're not going to do that yet, because we want to make sure the bottom number is equal at the way bottom of our balance sheet before we do that. But this is the number we're trying to get to now at the bottom. Okay, next we have liabilities. So if we look on our adjusted trial balance, liabilities is anything with a payable after it. And I'm going to abbreviate. So these here are all of our liabilities. So you will have to write liabilities. Current liabilities are things that we need to pay within the next year. We do not have any long-term liabilities, you can see. That would be like if we took out a long loan to do like some expansion with our business. So we will write all of these numbers in the middle column. So you'll do liabilities, centered, current liabilities with a colon after it, and then we're going to write all of our payables and put the amount in the middle column here. So accounts payable. So our accounts payable is $13,191.28. And then I'm going to pause and write down all the numbers for the rest of our payables. So I've listed all of my accounts payables, or all my liabilities, not just accounts payable. I will draw a single line underneath the 3,000 for dividends payable. And then you will need to write total liabilities and put the total to the right column here. So our total for liabilities is $26,783.20. So the next part will be your stockholders' equity, and we need to record our capital stock and our retained earnings. So first, if we look at our adjusted trial balance, we have capital stock and we also have retained earnings. However, you will take the capital stock number, do not take this. So we want to take this number would be incorrect. We need to look at your statement of stockholders' equity. I'm going to start abbreviating there. So when you make your balance sheet, do not take this retained earnings amount. Make sure you take that from your statement of stockholders' equity. So for stockholders' equity, we have capital stock. We can take that from the adjusted trial balance, and that will be the $12,000, or excuse me, I looked at the wrong number there, not $12,000, that was dividends. For capital stock, $82,500. So if you look at your 16-2 work together, you will find our balance for retained earnings. We don't want to look at the total stockholders' equity. We want to look at this number right here, our balance of retained earnings, because that's the number we're looking for. And this already subtracts our dividends from here as well. So if you're looking at your adjusted trial balance and you see dividends are on there, don't worry, it's already been calculated in there. So the number we need to take is $76,432.20. Now, if you do not take this number, if you instead go ahead and take it from your adjusted trial balance, you will find out that your balance sheet will not be equal, and that's why. Alright, so I'm going to single rule here, and then you would write, excuse me, let me fix this here, you would write total stockholders' equity by adding these two numbers together, your capital stock and your retained earnings, so $158,932.20. And then we need another single rule because our last line is total liabilities and stockholders' equity. So I'll draw a single line, and if you add your total liabilities and your total stockholders' equity, you will get $185,715.40, which is the same that we have for our total assets. So that means that our balance sheet is balanced like it should be. So we will draw two double rules on here. We will put one underneath total assets all the way across the number columns. And then we'll also put one at the bottom as well. And our double rule means that our balance sheet is equal. If something were to not equal for you when you do this, there's two possible things that would more than likely this would be why. Could just be like a math error somewhere, addition or subtraction, or writing the wrong number, or this retained earnings. This trips people up a lot sometimes where they take it from their adjusted trial balance rather than taking it from your statement of stockholders' equity. So that happens a lot too. So after this, you are done with your work together for 16-3. You have your completed balance sheet.